This is Smithy.tv.
Sync that up. So we are in the studio again. There's no reason to even try and keep our guest a secret because everybody can see them on the screen even now. You're excited. I'm excited. We have Matthew Bennett, which for me is a huge freaking rush.
Yeah.
Because...
World's only Cylon monitor.
Right? Battlestar Galactica.
Cylon monitor.
Yeah.
Sounds like some kind of prehistoric creature.
It's true.
A Cylon monitor.
But yeah, and like literally as soon as I saw you on Galactica, I'm like, this is the guy. This guy's awesome. And then I went back through your IMDb page. I'm like, oh my god, I know this guy from everything. You are one of those actors that is everywhere all the time. And I like
that. I'm in a lot of things.
Yeah.
For a period of time, for sure, within the story. I play an integral story point.
Totally, always.
In a lot of projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're everywhere. But
and sometimes you get killed off.
Sometimes.
I get killed off a lot.
A lot. A lot.
It's, that is the essence of being a Canadian actor. You get killed off.
So you're like the Canadian Sean Bean.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
See, that's...
not so bad.
Yeah, I was
right?
saying, that is
good company to be in.
Yeah.
Now, we jumped right ahead, but let's find out your all-time favorite movie.
Or one of.
Huh. Well, you know, it's funny because the Blackboard tweeted something today about the Dardenne brothers, and Rosetta is a movie probably my most favorite. It really changed a lot of things for me.
Okay.
As an artist and as a filmmaker and writer and actually movie viewer as well.
Okay.
I saw a movie that really, it was at a weird time in my career. I guess it was about 10 years ago. And you kind of wonder what you're doing as an actor. You know, is anybody watching?
Right.
And I had received a piece of fan mail that, in essence, said to me, my job is important. It was very important to this family, keeping them together. And then I saw this film called Rosetta. And I realized, you know, there's a lot of power in what we do as artists.
That's cool.
That's probably my favorite movie.
Okay, that is going on my list.
Top 5... Blade Runner blew my mind when I saw it. Bullet.
Nice.
You're doing them in alphabetical order?
Yeah, exactly, right? A lot of Tom Cruise films. I just like the essence of that sort of filmmaking, what he does, you know.
Because, I mean, say what you will about his personal politics, I mean, he goes all out. Like,
he's a very talented actor, a very committed actor, and he's a great movie star.
Yeah.
You know, I watch old movies all the time. There's always movies happening in our house.
Nice.
We have TCM, it's on all the time. We watch probably about 4 or 5 movies a week.
See?
And I like the old stuff, you know, I'm a fan.
I'm right there.
I'm a fan.
Totally right there. See, I told you it wasn't strange. Talking to my girlfriend.
What's your favorite movie?
I told you it wasn't strange.
All-time favorite movie was the first movie I ever saw. At 3 years old, I saw Jaws at the drive-in theater.
Did you? My parents took you to see
The story, my parents have now denied said story, but the story goes that they had this huge discussion, fight, about whether or not I would be old enough if it would scare me or whatever. So we went to the drive-in theater. They apparently put me right in the front seat, right between the two of them, and I ate it up. I was just... And now I watch it like 2 or 3 times a year.
I bet it was like Jurassic Park was for kids.
Did you have nightmares?
I have never had a nightmare in my life. Ever.
That's weird.
That's what people say.
About Jaws or just
about
like in
anything?
general? Really?
Yeah, never. I'm pretty zen.
Sue, what do you think about
I have
that?
nightmares all the time. Sometimes about Jaws.
What's your favorite movie?
I went with Star Wars always because that's what I grew up on and it was my first obsession, we'll say. But aside from that, Silence of the Lambs as a film for me is like...
That's a good solid film.
I don't think I had any nightmares about it either, but yeah, just every scene in that movie to me is perfect. So.
Right.
Although I did just watch, what was it? Pandora and the Flying Dutchman from 1960 something, which I'd never even heard of. Had James Mason in it, and I can't remember the female lead, and it was just this update of the Flying Dutchman story about this guy who sails into town and this very cold, aloof woman who's toying with all these men who falls for this guy, and the only way he can be redeemed is if he has someone fall in love with him and is willing to die for him. It's just this really
Classic mythology, right?
Yeah, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I had no idea this film existed. So,
It's a great thing about science fiction too.
Yeah.
It's the story.
you know, and you've done a lot of science fiction.
I have.
Now,
I've done a lot of science fiction.
Obviously, as an actor, you've done a lot, but you're also a writer and a photographer. I don't see photography lending itself too much to science fiction, but in terms of writing, what do you go after?
I don't. You know what? Science fiction. I'm not a huge fan of the genre to watch, but
Wow.
it is absolutely my preference as an actor.
That's
I'm
cool.
I'm kind of like a guy that I'd rather do than watch.
Sure,
You know what I mean, like
yeah.
I play hockey. I don't really watch a lot of sports. I just sort of
Yeah, you'd rather get in and do it, yeah.
And I think science fiction as an actor, it opens up these incredible worlds. You know.
Totally, yeah.
As a viewer, I watch more what's in my immediate world.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm drawn to the
Like
job
24 for her.
What's that?
Like 24. She lives in that world,
You
24.
live in the world of 24?
Yeah.
So you're running like all
Yeah.
the time.
She says damn it a lot.
I'm tired, damn it.
The clock is always counting down. Oh, man.
Now, you grew up here in Toronto.
I did. I grew up at Yonge and Lawrence.
Yeah, and changed schools in grade 11.
Yeah, I went to Lawrence Park for a couple of years, which
Yeah.
is a very academic-centered school, and I was going to be a lawyer, and I knew that it wasn't the fit for me.
Wow.
I grew up in a household. My father was an executive at a computer company, and my mother was an artist. And so it was sort of this kind of, not like,
Right.
they weren't like
Yeah.
that, but they were very supportive of
Yeah.
me. But, you know, you're of two people, right? And so
Totally.
it's, you know, kind of, I thought I wanted to do that, but I realized I wanted to do something else.
That's
And
cool.
going to that school changed everything for me.
Wow.
Because it had, Northern Secondary is still around. It's a fantastic school. At the time when I went there, they had grade level 4 to 6. So you had little kind of, you
Nice.
know, people with some learning challenges, and then you had really students who excelled. So there was a huge mix of people in there, and a lot of things to do. You had, you know, car shop, all the stuff, right?
Nice.
And theater arts, and that's how I fell into that.
Oh, that's cool. Now, do you have a favorite theater program? Well, not a theater program, but a favorite play? Or have you written?
I love David Mamet, and you know,
Oh,
Man, that's
man,
awesome.
it's amazing.
you grow up in high school, you do theater history, and you look at the Greek plays, and Mamet for me was the first thing that really kind of hit me and went, wow,
Yeah.
yes, I absolutely have to do this. You know, there's some Toronto playwrights. Theater is a very amazing thing,
It's
and
true.
it's something I've kind of stepped away from.
Okay.
But I still go out and see plays, and it's movies
Love
and plays. You know.
Totally. And we were
And
talking
we
about
have
that
like
the
a
other week.
ridiculous
Yeah.
number of
There's so many theaters here in Toronto. It's
productions
just
going on
amazing.
at any
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I mean, what did we see? We saw Glen Ross just in a tiny little.
Night of the Living
Laura
Dead.
Ossington was where it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were just like, I didn't even know this theater existed. This is amazing. And then, the big ones like Evil Dead and
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead. But yeah, I just love coming across those little tiny theaters with, just something you.
And there are a lot of them
always wanted to
around,
see.
and a lot of subscription
Yes.
opportunities.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, my sweetie does that. She's
Yeah,
got a
every little
subscription.
Tarragon Factory, Buddies,
Yes.
Canadian Stage. There's all these places.
Oh my
right?
God,
And
yeah.
there's some incredible theater in the
There's
city.
amazing theater in the city.
Yeah.
And we need to get into that a little more,
Yeah,
I think.
definitely.
Because we do a lot of TV, obviously, for Canadian television.
Yeah.
We do a lot of Canadian
Sure.
television. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because we love it. Like Murdoch.
Because
We
it
did
rocks
like
right
4
now.
episodes of Murdoch.
Yeah, I've been doing an
Yeah.
episode a year.
A year, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Get to go
I
back
have,
and
I'm the American agent.
play.
It's kind of like an olden timey Cylon.
Exactly.
Well, we had this whole talk before you showed up. I'm like, I wonder if he's going to show up in a suit. Because you just
Did
come
you think? Do I have that kind of feel?
You do.
Do I have?
Yeah. I mean, just every time I've seen you on screen, you come across as not aloof, but
Because
very,
I'm dressed in
very
a suit
professional.
or professional.
Yeah. You're like, you don't want to mess with this guy. You
Yeah,
don't want to get
professional.
on his wrong side.
Yeah.
He's too professional. Don't mess with him.
Yeah.
Lawyer.
You just so pleasantly surprised that there's no tie. And,
No time.
Yeah.
And
And a
I
little more,
usually kind of in my normal life,
a little more relaxed.
Well, the last couple of years, my hair has kind of been like this on TV. They're letting me do it now. I think I've aged into a certain category where this is
there
okay.
you go.
That totally rocks.
When I started out as an actor, I got a lot of jobs. I was sort of the guy that when the 30 or 40-year-old lawyer types weren't available, they'd call in me because I could do like a page of dialogue. But it meant that I had to put my hair down. So I kind of, I've aged a bit, but I've always sort of looked the same because I realized that if I dressed a little older,
Right.
starting out, I would work a little more.
Nice. That's cool.
Like a Cylon.
Well, the hair works. The hair works. I'd go
Like
with
a
that hair.
Cylon.
Just say it.
Cylon hair, the press
She's not going to
on
let that
hair.
go.
That's good. That's good.
Press on hair.
But, of course, for us, well, besides Galactica, of course, and, of course, the X-Files, let's just get that out of the way. I was writing my blog the other day, because, reviewing something, and I throw on the X-Files in the
Oh,
background.
you did
on
a thing
Netflix.
about Rockford Files.
Yeah,
right?
every day, every Thursday.
Yeah, Rockford Files.
Yeah.
One of the best shows on television.
Right?
Ever. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there watching, typing away, and I'm just watching X-Files in the background at the same time. I'm like, that's Matthew Bennett.
Yeah. That's
I
right.
just wanted to give you that shout out because I'm
Sewer
like, dude,
worker.
Yeah, right?
Which
Didn't
was
even
an
have a real
experience.
name.
Yeah, just the sewer worker.
Yeah, good job.
In a pool of water.
Right.
In a studio in North Vancouver. They actually cut a hole in the floor
Ugh.
to make that kind of thing. But they were nice because they heated it. So it was kind of weird because it's
that's
very
alright.
hot. And I had those hip waders on. And you get very heavy when the water goes inside. It's hard to get out. It was a little tricky. They asked me if I swam. So
Just in case.
And I do, which is good.
What
I don't
can
know
you
if
do
there was
with
somebody
200
else who
pounds
they
of
really
water
wanted who
strapped
said,
to
no,
you?
I can't swim. And so, Bennett's the choice because he can swim.
Obviously.
But yeah, I spent a lot of time in water.
That's cool. But I was
That
just like,
show.
that was awesome. I was like, Matthew Bennett. I totally freak out now anytime I see you on anything because I'm like, hey, Matthew Bennett.
Well, it was a great episode too because it's kind of it's iconic for the show. It's
The Flute Man.
Yeah.
freaks people out. Anytime anybody goes into a portal, that you got to think about that, right?
Which is why
There's
I
that
actually
thought
don't
that
use
runs
them.
through
Yeah.
everybody's head. What's in there?
I don't use them at all anymore. I will wait till I get home. 2
I will
days from
go
now,
past it.
fine. I will wait. But just an amazing career, though. I mean, you've got 75 titles listed on your IMDb page, so you don't slow down, apparently.
Well, acting is an ebb and flow. It really
Okay.
is, and being an artist is it's difficult to be an artist as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to find other things, and obviously take as much as you can. I've been doing I've been in this business for 22 years,
Nice.
and I've learned over the last few years to sort of pick and choose what I go out for.
Oh,
I
cool.
don't go out for all the auditions that I'm offered. It's a hard job. It really is a hard job.
That I believe, yeah.
And it's hard to be in. I've had a lot of recurring roles
Mhm.
in shows. I've been a lead on a few, but
Yep.
I've been in a number of shows for a number of episodes, and you get a certain attachment to that,
Yeah.
And it's hard to sort of let go of that when the job is
Yeah.
done sometimes, But it's a fantastic job. I know that when you do a series, it's hard to move on to something else after
Mhm.
that. You have a 3 or 4 month run,
Yeah.
and it's really exhausting, and it strips you energy wise, mentally wise,
Mhm.
emotionally wise. It pulls a lot out of you, so you need a bit of a break.
Yeah.
I've learned to find a balance.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think even with our job and keeping this, and we're still trying to find our own balance
Yeah.
because there are days where we're just like, not today.
Well, you guys are doing interviews, and you have jobs,
Yeah.
and you have you
Yeah,
have
vlog and
it's-
lots of watching of
Yeah.
TVs and going out for
you guys are
festivals and
fans.
stuff. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
full.
That's what it
it's
is.
a double
Yeah.
job. It's
Yeah.
just
But I
to
mean-
watch and blog and do this right here, and you're working as well.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Do you guys, you
And
don't
sometimes
sleep?
we want to see
What?
people.
You don't sleep?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that word?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
And of course, you just did a far too short run on Orphan Black.
See, I think it was the perfect run.
I could have had you around for at least 3 more episodes happily.
I think the show. I watched the first season,
Yeah.
and it really blew me away.
Right.
I'd never seen anything like that. I hate this, but coming out of Canada, the cut, the
Mhm.
film perspective, the acting, the story,
Yeah.
everything was. It was like, wow, this is incredible. They called me up and said, "Do you want to do this job?" And okay, last episode, first season, why not? You never know if a show's going to go. I'll take
Yeah.
this thing. And I thought this is pretty interesting. And I knew Tatiana from a pilot we'd shot
Oh, wicked.
called Sabbatical, where she actually played my daughter. She's not young. And I took the job, and it was an amazing experience to be on that set and meet those people. It was a very creative set,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And the show came back, and you know, for me, the character he's a story point, right?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I didn't want him to turn into a caricature,
Right.
you know, for an audience to look and go, okay, you know, it's like the Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
You know, she's gonna get away again. He's gonna keep going. There's got to be some sort of conclusion to
Yeah.
it, right? You know, and to have a good story arc is amazing in any show, and I think it's especially amazing in this show because I actually, you know, Daniel Rosen had his own story.
Yeah.
Totally.
In Orphan Black, right? Not too many people get that. Not too many characters get that. And it was, you know, it was a fast, intense, very focused pursuit, you know. And I think it really aided to the story.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And made the show something, you know, ramped it up just.
And then you got bloody for the last little
my
bit.
God.
Oh man, I got
Car accident.
bloody. I've done blood
Like,
before. You know,
fights.
Battlestar, I played, you know, a
Yeah.
Cylon, so there's an infinite number of us, and I every episode guaranteed to get shot or something would happen where I've got sweeps going off. So I'm, you know, used to being, you know, it's actually explosives on your body, right?
Yeah.
And they fire them off.
Yeah.
So I'm used to that and the cleanup and stuff. But Orphan Black,
We heard a story about an elevator in a hotel.
did you hear that story?
Yeah, Catherine kind of mentioned it. I don't know if it
Yeah.
made the cut.
I don't know if it
Yeah.
did either.
No, well, in her,
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
episode. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell the story. Orphan Black, they like a lot of blood. They like a lot of blood. And I can say this now, if you're watching this year and you haven't seen episode 4 or 5,
Yeah, stop
watching
Yeah.
this right now.
Go away and come back in a little bit.
The car crash sequence. We did it on the day and we were losing light and David Frazee was there and let's go. And they bloodied me up and they shot it and they had interior shots of me. It's amazing how much you shoot actually in a TV show and how much
Yeah.
doesn't make it into the cut.
Mhm.
You know, you're cutting for essentially commercials, so you
Yeah.
want to push this thing forward. You trim off any section that you
Okay.
can. They're dealing with 52 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So you click. So a lot of stuff doesn't necessarily get seen.
Huh.
So they'd shot this stuff in the car on the day, and I'm bloodied out. Then they saw the dailies, and they decided that wasn't enough blood. So got to get Bennett back in. They brought the car into the studio, and they did it like a week later.
Wow.
And they just kind of coated me with blood, and I thought, well, okay, I see what the show's about. You know, high definition, lots of blood, right? Didn't make the cut though. But that's when I realized that the next sequence, the next script that I saw was going to be absolutely out of control. They took me into, it was actually, we shot the King West.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a
I know that.
hotel.
Yeah.
They rented out like a suite up in the, I think it was 15th, 16th floor. Huge place. A couple bathrooms in it, and one bathroom was dedicated as the blood room. So they put up cardboard all around it, ceilings, everything, right? And you would literally walk in and they would just start throwing blood. They cut out my clothes and stuff like that. And the blood dries after a period of time, so they keep having to apply it. So you get soaked and your clothes kind of stick to your skin. And then I had a sponge in my hand. And so it's the old, you know, you have a sponge full, a sea sponge full of blood, and you squeeze it. So you come like into frame and squeeze it, and blood just shoots out like that. Onto, of course, the white carpet. And it was kind of a nerve-wracking sequence to shoot because they only had, I think they had 3 white carpets. And there was like a stunt guy who had to throw the lamp in. You know, the shot is from the bathroom,
Yeah.
right? So you see a lamp come into frame. And then, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but there's 3 or 4 blood squirts because there was a props guy with they filled up, you know those old fire canisters?
Yeah.
With a plunger, they'd fill up one of those, and so he's squirting blood, so you get this blood cup, and then I stagger in and squeeze that, and there's blood everywhere, and I'm all covered in blood, and drop down on the white carpet. When you can really see it the next episode when they've got my body
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
laid
Yeah.
out, which was not easy to shoot at all. They actually put plastic. It's hard to be cool when you have plastic over your face, and they say don't breathe and don't steam it up.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, because I was watching that with my sweetie. And
I've been there.
just that whole final 30 seconds of episode 4 when you come stumbling into the frame. Literally, the first thing I said was, "Oh shit," Because
Yeah.
like if somebody's taking Daniel out, you know trouble's coming around
And then
that
the
corner.
music
And
starts,
then the
and you're like,
trouble
oh
comes,
my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. And what better way to go, too?
Stagger
You know?
singing
It's
it.
like story arcs, like, yeah, she has to be the one.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, for sure.
In
But I
a
was
bloody wedding
Yeah.
dress.
completely gobsmacked
Yeah.
when it happened. It was awesome. But yeah, I totally wondered if that was you in episode 5 or not, like on the floor, because I couldn't quite
was
get a
me.
beat. Okay.
I should have asked for a close-up.
Yeah. Because I'm like, it could be him. Not quite sure. He's not
Or it
saying
could just
anything,
be
so he's
the
definitely
guy.
dead.
I
Yeah.
won't lay down on the table, but yeah, it was me. You know, let you guys pick up angles. Yeah, that was me down there. Yeah, last day of work, literally the last day of work. And I had to put on the clothes again, and they were dry. I actually cut my nose. I sliced my nose, putting my shirt over my head because you couldn't
No
undo the
way.
buttons because it was so caked with blood. And where they cut the shirt, it was sharp.
Wow.
So I had like a massive paper cut on my nose, which obviously you didn't see because you didn't even know it was me.
Dude.
I suffer from my
Still
You
got it on my
do.
PVR. I'm gonna go back and look for it.
Now, we've talked with some other actors about how they keep their craft sharp.
Mhm.
Now, are you teaching classes? Are you taking classes? Do you find like an inner process to work through?
Well, I have my process,
Yeah.
that's for sure. You know, like I said, I pick and choose my auditions,
Mhm.
and I audition regularly. And you know, part of that for me is reading the script. I like to be like camera ready. You know?
Okay,
I feel
cool.
like if I walk into an audition and do everything I possibly can and don't get the job, that's okay. I did everything I
Nice.
possibly can, and you know, you learn some tricks throughout. It's a hard business.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
really about
yeah.
you. You know what I mean? Ultimately,
Yeah.
it's about you.
Yeah.
Don't take it
Too
personally,
tall, too
but
short,
yeah.
too fat, too skinny.
Yep.
Hair's too brown, hair's not brown enough, you know?
Wow.
Take your eyeball out, put it in your mouth, make it green. There you go, okay, you get the job. You know, this is impossible stuff. So, you know, I've developed something that I do for every audition that allows me to walk away from that. But there is that sort of, you know, I'm an artist and I
Yeah.
can't exactly go out in the street corner. If I was a musician, I could
Yeah.
you know, right around Dundas and Young.
Sure you could.
I wouldn't, but I, you know,
But I
not that
could.
good. You could go and do that sort of thing, you know. And as an actor, it's kind of very difficult.
I
You
believe
come
it.
off as a wacko if you're out in the corner, you know,
Sure.
doing monologues and
Yeah.
things like that.
King Lear.
So
Doesn't stop some
King,
people.
King Lear on the corner of Dundas and Young.
It can be done.
I think you should do that, Sam. What do you think?
Oh, my Shakespeare's not that good. And I definitely don't know enough King Lear to do it.
Practice.
Well, you could hold a book out.
I
I
could.
think, you know.
Yeah.
We'll probably give you money, too,
So they just might.
for school,
I could probably do that.
for acting
Yeah.
school. Help you get there.
Right?
That could be your sign right there. Help me get
How
to
we get to
acting
acting school?
Help me.
Obviously, I need it.
Clearly, I need help.
Yeah. It's bad enough learning. Well, it's not bad enough because I'm loving it because I'm learning the behind the scenes stuff. I'm taking Introduction to Film and Television Production. So I'm
Are
learning.
you, where are you
Over at
Rogers?
George Brown.
George
Yeah,
Brown. He's
yeah.
got a great
So-
program.
So I'm learning all kinds of stuff. I mean, the first couple night, well, the first night they're talking about all this stuff like, well, there's this thing called previs, and I'm like, I totally know what previs is, and he's just randomly off all these things like rushes and assemblies. I'm like, I know what all of this is. I am gonna ace this class. And of course, now we've got the assignment sheets and all these. You know, have to go and shoot a short film, and I have to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna
Have you shot a
ace
film
it.
before?
Not for years. But happily, I know enough people now in the industry that I've kind of been able to tap a couple and say, you guys be willing to, you know, I write the script, I'll direct it, but I'll need the help like producing it. And
Toronto's
okay.
very cool that way.
Yeah, it
It's a
really
very
is.
interesting
Yeah.
business within the community here, and there are
Yeah.
a lot of people that. There are a lot of filmmakers in the business. There are a lot of filmmakers working lights and
Oh,
running
yeah.
clothes to
Yeah.
trailers, and you know, it's
Everybody's helping
yeah,
everybody
it's-
else.
Exactly.
It's really good. And even like in the web series community, I mean, there's
Oh, yeah.
tons of
Mhm.
back and forth. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do all right. Will it be a masterpiece? Yes.
Yes.
I am
course
that
it
I am
will.
that confident. I'm gonna ace this class. But yeah, it's just I don't know if I could do the acting side of it. I could toy with being an extra or background actor, but I don't think I could do the
Why?
what
Why
you
is
do.
that?
I don't. Well, I definitely don't have a thick skin. Like even the audition process would kill me each and every time, guaranteed.
Right.
So I wouldn't be able to do that. If someone had offered me a series right off the bat, said you're perfect for this, I'm like, okay, I'll do that. But I couldn't go in.
I'd be
and
like, are
audition.
you sure?
Because
You don't want to mess it up, do you?
I feel like you'd be you lay yourself bare. I mean, each audition. And I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, there
Right.
is a separation
Yeah.
that you have to sort of learn to make.
Yeah, and I'm.
Or else
That's the
it
same
will-
with writing too, I think.
See, I don't know.
Anytime I let somebody read something that I
Oh,
read,
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
why don't you just stab me?
Yeah.
Well, be
Helena.
careful. Be careful about who you let,
Yeah.
read your stuff. Right? We live in a weird world.
Yes,
Yes, we do.
Now, can we talk about your photography? Because you like being
Sure.
you get out there and
yeah,
shoot. What are you
yeah.
shooting on?
I use a Nikon. I have an old Nikon. I've got a long lens. I've got a 22 to 400.
Dude.
I shoot usually about 80 mils. But I got, I love landscape photography, and I love photographing buildings.
Oh,
Nice.
Architecture is something that really fascinates me, and industry too.
Okay.
Maybe since I had an uncle who lived in Hamilton, so we used to go over the bridge.
Oh,
as
yeah.
a kid, you go over and you look at the
Scares the crap out of me.
refineries and stuff.
Yep.
It's like, oh, this is crazy.
Right?
This
Yeah.
is absolutely crazy. And I've driven across the country many times from Toronto to Vancouver. And I actually have gone to the East Coast, so I have driven the country. And seen some incredible things. There's some, you run through these towns, and they're these really industrial towns, and they're powerful, and you have these structures, these small houses. My wife grew up in a place called Roslyn, and down below is a city called Trail.
Okay.
And there's a refining factory in there, and it kind of, all the houses sort of, circle this thing. It's like this American Rob Lowe hockey movie that we all know. You know what I mean? It's got that feel to it. And it's very fascinating to me. I like that.
That's cool.
And that gives me sort of visually something to do.
Mhm.
I write,
Okay.
sort of, I play some music. I play guitar poorly. I do.
But at least you play it.
I watch movies. I'm a big fan of movies and movie making and television too. I
Right.
love television.
Yeah.
Don't get
I
Sue
grew up,
started.
in the 80s and
TV was the thing.
watched some fantastic TV.
Miami Vice.
We only had three
Miami
channels.
Vice,
It's
Magnum.
still.
Rockford Files, Love
Yeah.
Boat, all this stuff. Fantasy Island,
Yeah. Oh man, I don't even think I've seen that since the 80s.
crazy TV. And then Hill Street Blues.
Yes,
and
now
TV
that was-
changed.
yeah.
So and I 60s like Dick Van Dyke Show and Beachcombers, and
Oh, the
Oh, the
Beachcombers.
Beachcombers.
Oh, the
I
Beachcombers.
watched a lot of stuff and grew up with it. I think it's an amazing format, amazing thing in people's lives.
Yeah.
Well, you said it before that you didn't, couldn't believe something like Orphan Bike had been Canadian. Not in a bad way. You were just, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's just
It's
amazing
not
the renaissance
usual.
we've seen coming from Canadian television.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, Beachcombers compared to say something like Orphan Black, it's apples and oranges, and yet it's the same country and it's not the same artist, but it's the same artistic field.
I think it was just a matter of a production company allowing artists to do what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graham and John are. I had no problem coming back for the second season just to be able to hang out with them. It was an amazing set to be on. It kind of reminded me of Battlestar in the early days.
Nice.
Where you have these artists and everybody's allowed. I didn't see any sort of network influence. I've been on those shows
Wow.
too,
Okay.
where there's guys standing behind the chairs watching the monitors, and everybody's got their 2 cents, and it changes things.
Yikes. I don't know if I could do that. Like, I love the idea of the creative control that shows like Orphan Black have now.
Yeah.
And you don't really have that a lot in Canadian television, right?
Which needs to change.
And when are they going to learn? Because, it's obviously better when the studio stays out of it a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think.
If you look at anything, you watch Greatest American Hero was on for 3 seasons, I think, and the first one's great, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse until you're like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Where did this electricity-sucking lizard come from?
Well, you know what? I think with any show, as the popularity grows and more networks latch on to
Yeah.
it, more people have a piece of it.
Yeah.
People have a say, and so
Yeah.
it gets filtered down, and the essence of what it was what it was intended to be gets lost along the way,
Sure.
which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. Yeah, I've participated in a few shows like that. Let me tell you, it's like wow.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I thought we were going this direction.
And then,
How'd that happen?
What?
I'm not going to mention any titles there, but
No, I'm not going to mention any
no.
titles.
But I think I can guess. I'm not going to even mention them, but I think I can guess.
Back to photography for a moment.
Yeah.
Are you doing any of the Doors Open stuff this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Possibly.
I'm in the possibly camp too.
I'm
If I
in-
do, it'll be my first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because you get to see some incredible things around the city. I'm a huge fan of this city. There's
It's
some
I
amazing
love
Yeah.
the city
in this
so
city,
much.
and buildings that you would never, ever, ever see unless
Yeah.
there was this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some great historic walks around the city.
There is.
Yeah.
This is the fourth
It's
largest city in
spirits
North
and
America. It's a
stories,
huge
or
place, and
spirits
it's
and
got-
secrets.
Yeah, it's got a rich culture and a
Yeah.
rich
Oh, it
history.
does.
You know.
Well, I was.
I really want to go to the Don jail. The old former Don jail.
Yeah, the former Don jail.
That'd be kind of spooky.
They've
I'm just
they
saying.
preserve some of the cells and where the gallows used to be and stuff, and I'm like, that's just creepy. I want to see.
Do they
it.
still have that? Because you used to be able to drive by, right, and
Yeah.
see the markings on the wall where the
Yeah.
framework was.
Apparently, it's
Really?
still there.
I got to see a building that I didn't even know existed. Obviously, it does. But my sweetie took me to the UFT on Friday night for the mini planetarium that they have there.
Right.
And we went upstairs after that for the observatory, which I had no idea was even in Toronto, that there's an observatory in Toronto.
Yeah.
And we stop on the 14th floor, and it's just this huge balcony that wraps like almost 3/4 of the way around the building, and all you get is the cityscape from a view I'd never seen before. I'm like, this is gorgeous. How would anybody want to leave this city ever?
Yeah.
Love this city.
Yeah.
Thank you,
It's
Toronto.
amazing. Thank you, Toronto.
Stay
Thank you for
sexy,
being here,
Toronto.
But yeah,
Do something
I love
about your mayor.
that. Do something about
Thank
your
you.
mayor. Yeah. But
We're not going to talk about
No.
that. You don't.
No.
Yeah, we can't
Don't
talk
feed the
about
beast. No.
Do you think he's watching our show?
No. No. I don't think they have that Wi-Fi up in cottage country. I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm not bitter. I didn't vote for him, so it's not that bad. But yeah. So writing, what do you write?
I write television and I write
Do you?
films. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually producing a feature film right now. I
Excellent.
just started up a new company and I have a couple television pilots.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I just love it. You know, for me, it's kind of
That's
everything.
so cool. Because, yeah, like I was talking about in my class, I had to sit down and write my first script in like 10 years or whatever. And I'm just like, I could do this all the time.
Yeah.
I love the process. Because the first time, because I wanted to put in cut to this and zoom in on this. I'm like, no, you don't do that in your script. It's all very
You
straightforward.
leave a lot
Yeah.
of white space.
You really
yeah,
do.
You tell the story and
Yeah.
let people read.
Yeah.
You just tell a good story.
That's right. Which
And
I
it's
totally
a very
forgot.
powerful thing. It's
It
very
really-
empowering too to be
Yeah,
able to,
right?
to sit down and put that final period, fade out.
Roll credits, fade out. Yeah.
It's a tough thing, and then the real job starts because then the rewrites, right?
Yes.
So writing is
Yeah.
most.
Yeah, the first draft.
Great. Then you get up the next day and sober up.
You're like,
Yeah.
That's crap.
Really, that's terrible.
Who wrote
That's the
this?
best I had. Somebody must have been screwing around and printed this up when I wasn't changed things. 'Cause I
The
don't
cat's
remember
writing
writing
it.
that.
Yeah.
The cat's writing.
Somebody walked across the screen.
Right.
The keyboard.
Now, in terms of writing, do you like go to a coffee shop, or do you like a nice quiet office? Do you play
I
music?
actually go out and I write by hand. I'm probably one of the
Oh,
few
nice.
Thank you
people
very
still-
much. I did
Yeah.
that
I have
the
a
other day.
notebook, and I bought a bike off of Craigslist. I live downtown. I bought a bike off of Craigslist about 3 years ago, and when my wife and I were in Vancouver, we had 2 cars. You have to drive pretty much everywhere. And now we have 1 car, and I have I have no idea how much gas is in there, and I just ride my bike around. So I've got a notebook. Get on my bike, just go somewhere, coffee shop,
wicked.
and usually write for about 2.5 hours.
Nice.
And I'll come back, and at night I'll type everything out and sort of do a first pass
Yeah.
edit, and then see where it's at the next day, and write scene by scene. But I break everything down and
That's cool.
Yeah.
write with cards, and start off with a log line and just
Just
sort of
go,
build.
yeah.
My first script took me like 10 years to write because I had no idea what I was doing. You know what I mean? And you read these books and you kind of go, oh, okay, I kind of get it. And I was in the business too, but sort of there's a math to script writing. There's a math to TV script writing.
Yeah.
There's a math to feature film writing.
Right.
Short film
Yeah.
writing. And you learn the patterns, and you become better at it and making better decisions, and then sort of not expanding too much.
Right.
The edit process
That's
obviously
cool.
is essential.
That's very good. And I literally do this exact same thing, which is awesome. I'm so glad that you said that.
You're on the right track, my
Yeah,
friend.
thank you.
I've seen the writer rooms. That's how the pros do it.
Because I just wandered around with my notebook. I sat down. I wrote like literally the first draft of this little. It's like an 8-page script, so it's got to be a short film under 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, boom. Then I went home, typed it up, did a second draft. I think I'm on my 4th draft now. I'm not quite sure, but I'm like, yeah. Okay, but it's starting with that actual blank page and a pen is just
Yeah.
it feels more, I don't know, more connecting.
Organic.
Organic's a great word. Yeah.
I like to see everything on a piece of paper, and I do a lot of crossing out and arrows and
Yeah.
stuff, which I can't really, you're on a laptop.
Yeah.
You've got to delete stuff, and I'm missing certain things that I might
Yeah.
bring back in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got like arrows.
And I
right
know
here.
guys, I know writers that can just sit down and type it all out, and it's
Wow.
brilliant, but I don't have that.
No.
I can't.
Yeah,
And then I have like blocks of stuff at the end that I'm gonna insert later.
The graveyard of great stuff. This idea is genius. It'll go in there somewhere. I'll push it in.
It'll totally fit somewhere.
Fantastic line of dialogue. Nobody's ever said that before.
I'm gonna come up with
This is
some way.
Academy Award-winning stuff. I'm gonna push that into this thing here.
Yeah.
Just shoot.
And you get the notes back. Yeah, this line here. Yeah, you want to cut.
You
that.
don't need that.
Nobody says that.
Nobody would ever say that. Yeah. No, I got that. Actually, I gave the first draft to my sweetie to read and say, okay, just read it. Tell me what you think. She's like, I'm gonna be blatantly honest with you. I know, because one of her finest traits is that she will be honest with you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It saves a lot of time.
It does. And she read it and goes, well, first off, a woman would never say any of these things at all, ever. Change them. I'm like, okay, I'll be back in 20 minutes. So, but it's yeah.
20 minutes.
Well, it's a short script. So I just
5
had
minute
this.
film.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a few hours.
So it was just, but it was tough, like letting something out of your control
Yeah.
again like that.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know. I want to be able to do it, much like you're out there writing.
It's just work.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
work.
And that's the way I have to look at it. Yeah. As opposed to like, I worked 2 hours on this. I love this, and yeah, you got to learn to be able to distance yourself, like you said.
Separate yourself
Yeah.
from the thing, or else it won't get made. That's really
Yeah.
what it comes down
Yeah.
to. Separate yourself from your audition. Separate yourself
Yeah.
from your scripts. Once it's ready, make sure it's ready.
Yes.
And you're happy with it.
Yeah.
And then put it out.
Yeah.
You have to float it out there,
Yeah.
and be prepared because I think the internet's a fantastic thing. You get a lot of live feedback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. A lot of really negative, weird people out there, right?
Yes, there are.
But for every one of those, there's 10 people who think you're awesome.
Yeah.
But they don't write and tell you that.
No.
Because that would take time, and they're busy.
Who's got that?
It's busy. But they think, you know what I mean. So it's feedback is.
Oh, totally.
I think you have to be prepared to put it out, and then
Yeah.
find that way to save yourself,
Yes.
save your
That
heart.
takes a lot,
It does.
especially
It does, especially because
Yeah.
usually, like you said, it's often the bad feedback that gets to you.
Of course it is. What
People
good
have
reviews
all
give
kinds
you?
of time in the
Very
world
few.
to
The
write
negative
bad
ones are
about
like,
you.
oh, I remember this one. I remember you. Yeah, you called me up. For sure.
And those
That's
people
just-
have all the time in the world to write and tell you how they feel.
Exactly. Most of them have actually done what you're trying to do, and have
Yeah.
failed
That's
at
what
it.
it
So,
is, yeah. Yeah.
critics are
Yeah.
critics.
Sure.
They're important, but we're in a different time now too.
It's
Yes.
true.
We're in the land where
So different now.
a movie can tank over a weekend. They don't even
Yeah.
have the first weekend anymore. They got the first night.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all you need. I'm not looking at
The
anybody right now,
advanced screening.
Godzilla, but anyway. Enough said about Godzilla.
Did you like that movie?
My review for it, I think, which goes up tomorrow, is actually mostly positive.
I like how you looked at your watch.
I know, right?
I know.
It's going up on
Tomorrow,
Wednesday.
tomorrow, not like